Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins and I'm broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Our charity of the month is Food Yoga International, and you can help me help them by donating to our fundraiser here on Twitch, visiting their website, which I posted in the chat, or simply by watching my streams and bringing your friends, because I'll be making my own donation at the end of the month based on my unique viewers count. If you enjoy today's stream, please support my creative work by becoming a Twitch subscriber to remove ads and get cute emotes, joining my Patreon to get illustrated postcards and prints in the mail, or sending me some creative fuel through Buy Me a Coffee. Links to all these are in my Twitch About section or in the YouTube description if you're watching the recording. Today is Wednesday, I'm pretty sure, which means it's time for illustration. And we're going to get back to work on my Onomatopoeia bees illustration here. Yesterday we finished up almost all of the bees. I'm working on the first round of shading for everyone. And I believe there's only 2 bees left. And then we'll work on the second round of shading. So to get started, I am going to move my keyboard and mouse over to my right, so that I can pull my tablet monitor down into my lap so I can use my stylus. And Satuita is here. Hello! Oh yeah, it's so sad. I've made all of these icons and nobody can use them because they have the first badge. Thank you for joining me today. Yay, Satuita is here. Yeah, and my next Chibi Friday, which I'm going to start this Friday, I have another slot open. So I'm going to be making a chili pepper, chibi chili pepper for the next one, but nobody can use them yet. Oh, well. You can use them on the Discord. If you log into the private Studio Mikarts Discord, you can use them there. Okay. I was gonna say, Chappie is chewing on her little bone, so you might be able to... she's not napping for once. She's chewing on her little bone, though I think she's getting tired of it. Well, she's hacking something instead. You can see her in the puppy cam. Okay, so we've got these last 2 bees to do, and then we're gonna move on to the second round of shading, and we'll go up to the flowers because I've done the first round of shading on the flowers, so we'll go all the way back to the flowers. But first, the last 2 bees, so it's this green one on the left. So we're just going to make a new layer, call it Shadow 1. And clip it to the main layer. We'll zoom in and get our colors. So I like to select it first, then click OK, then select it again. That way the color I'm working with will be in the current box. We'll first move it slightly to the cooler hue, and then we'll move it down to a darker shade. Maybe that's a little bit too cool. We'll do it like that. And what I've been trying to make sure to do is make it dark enough. Eva hasn't even been in here for very long. She's already snoring. Okay, and I've got this nice layer I created to help me remember which way the light is supposed to be coming from. So that's what these yellow lines are. So I'm going to use that to help guide me. Since, as I've been saying this whole time, I have 0 reference for the lighting in this scene. I'm having to do it all from imagination. And let's see, we'll probably have a little bit of shadow happening here. Maybe some here, since this heart area is where the wings grow out, so it's higher up on the body than the rest. And then maybe we'll do a little bit at each layer of fur too. Oh, that's terrible. I'm so glad we don't have a problem with dog farts over here. It's so nice. I mean, every once in a while, you know, just like anybody. But it's not like some folks who it's like, man, maybe they need a different dog food or something. We don't have that problem. It's really nice. I just need to go outside. Get literally get some fresh air. Let's see. I'm making these, oops, wrong one. Making these textures too. Trying not to keep just any flat straight line because it's supposed to be really fuzzy, so it shouldn't be any areas of a really long flat area. That's what I'm trying to say. Yep, you just have to live with it. You're just the pet sitter. You don't really have much of a choice. I don't think even if you were bold enough to get a different dog food, I don't think it would make a difference anyway. You wouldn't. Maybe it would, depending on how long you were sitting for, but. That's too bad. It's probably not good. It's probably not enjoyable for the dog either. Especially they have a really good sense of smell. So. Probably unpleasant for everyone involved. Dogs are just good at accepting it. I think that's the thing. Yeah. Yep, not much you can do in a situation like that. Just have to live with it. Maybe get a gas mask. A literal gas mask. Although, that is actually when it's concentrated, if I can speak, when it's concentrated, it is actually deadly. I have a kid's book, a children's picture book that I got that is all about the great stink that happened in London, I believe. So the book is called The Great Stink, so you can learn all about how it was killing birds and making people sick and everything. So it's not just an annoyance, it can actually be bad for you. It's literal gas. $3 kind of air freshener. Yeah. Yep. The context matters for London fog. I want to read that book again. It had lots of good historical information. Like, it was a children's picture book, but it was telling actual history. And it even talked about how such pollution is still a problem today, and not just, you know, in like a third world country or something like that. No, it's a problem today still. In America, in Britain. It had advice for how to contact your government leaders about it and everything. I think I'll just take this one away. Let's see, how's it looking so far? That's funny. Boise inversion. Yeah. Yep, and it is a problem here. Pretty much anywhere. It's surprising. I feel like we grow up with the sense that all of that stuff is in the past. It couldn't possibly happen today, but no, it's actually a fact of life today. And we're lucky we have relatively clean water. There's a lot of people who don't. That's why one of the things I sometimes write in my gratitude list, I write things I'm grateful for every night. At the bottom of my planner, I'll write stuff like clean water or electricity. So I don't want to take it for granted. It's not a given. Eva is having a dream. Can you see her moving? I don't know if you can. Right? Ah, I feel that. Yep. Ooh, Eva's doing... I think she might do a little poof. You seeing her moving? She's having a crazy dream. Wow, what a dream. Oh, you can see it a bit. Oh, good. Yeah, she is, her head was flopping and she did the tiniest little like that. Okay, zoom out, see what it looks like. I think it's pretty good. I think I just want to add my texture. Maybe I'll take this back a bit too. Oops, wrong way. Yeah. She can sleep anywhere. It's amazing. She just goes right to sleep. She's really, really routine oriented too. She loves a routine. For instance, when we're done with dinner, we're done playing video games, and it's time to go do other stuff to get ready for bed, you know, prepare. I make my smoothie for the morning and all this kind of stuff. Usually I finish up in the den and then I go into here, my studio, and she comes with me and I finish up on my PC and then we go upstairs. But occasionally I don't have anything to finish up in here. And so I get done in the den and I'm ready to go upstairs and she's at my door looking at me like, no, we go in here now. Can you please open the door? It's time to go in here now. So sometimes I will just go in just because she just really wants to come in. And I don't know, I feel bad for interrupting her routine. So I'll come in and just check my email one more time or something so that she can experience the continuation of the regular routine and not get thrown off. Other times, though, I'm in a hurry and it's like, no, we're not going in there today. Oh, I just realized this is one area where we actually do want smooth shading because this is a smooth part of the bee. So we'll smooth it out. It's one of the few parts that's not fuzzy. That's pretty good, I think. Okay, back to adding more. Add more texture. I like adding it both directions, so there's little texture cut into the shadow layer and little extra shadows on the base color layer. Let's save real quick. Oh my goodness. Price to sell immediately. They tried. Immediately. Immediately. Ah, I see. If both I's are pronounced Japanese style, then it would be immediately. Immediately. So, it was pretty close. Immediately. Immediately. Wait. It's normally pronounced Japanese. Immediately. E. Immediately. I. Oh, I'm so confused. Okay. Pronunciation of this word for me is immediately. So the first I is not Japanese style. But the second one is. Taking a drink of my nice, yummy, cold brew and cold temperature right now. Barley tea. The flavor of summer. Okay. Oh, okay. Now you've spelled it too. So it's me. So they're not a second I. Yeah, that's interesting why a spell check wouldn't catch it. But when I make a typo, it's my own fault because I have spell check turned off because I hate autocorrect. I hate it. It's not helpful. Not for me anyway. And so many times people send me a message and then they have to keep sending me another message. And sometimes they have to do it multiple times because the autocorrect keeps picking the wrong word. And it's like, it would have been faster if you just typed it out letter by letter instead of sending me 5 messages trying to correct to the same word. Okay, I am happy with how that bee looks, so let's move to the last bee. It's this purple one right here. So we'll make a new layer. Name it Shadow 1, just like all of them. And clip it. And when we move on to the flowers, I think I'm going to make the shadow layers darker. But then again, I was trying to go for a little bit more subtlety. But it's just now that the bees are almost all done, you can barely tell. I guess this one's alright. And it's hard because the black lines are making it difficult, since the black lines are eventually going to be colored to match whatever color they're next to. So that's creating this false, at least compared to what the final product will be, this false sense of contrast that won't be there. Well, okay, I won't worry about it. Let's get the shapes in there first as far as the shading goes, and then we can adjust the colors. That's why I'm putting everything on its own layer. So I can adjust the colors later. And for now, let's mostly focus on the shape. The shape of the shading. So we'll bring it a little bit cooler. Wait, no. I want to get it so that it's on the current layer so that I can compare. Okay, I'll make it a little bit cooler. And then a little bit darker. Okay. No slow teeny tiny beat, but I gotta remember, light's gonna be hitting from this side. I'm also trying to remember the shape of the bee. It's a roundy shape, it's not flat. So that's probably pretty good. Yes, so we'll zoom in a little bit more and get some of these details with the tiny brush. Well, maybe not that tiny. Okay, this is good. My fans are thinking of ramping up again on the PC. Doesn't feel that hot in here right now, but maybe it's because I just drank that cool, refreshing tea. I want to see what I did with the wings on this one. Mostly colored them in, but I left some bright spots. Okay. This here is one of the few bees that I've drawn with the wings down. The reason being, is that for bees to make noise, they have to be flying. So the point of this illustration is to teach buzz buzz and boom boom in English and Japanese, the sound that those two languages have decided is the sound that bees make. So in order for them to be making a sound, we need that noise. We need that action to be happening. But I left a few with their wings down for variety. And the ones with wings up, you're not seeing the wings yet because I'm going to add them digitally. So I will be adding those later. I think I'm going to erase all the way back here and then add in. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, it looks pretty good. Let's call that good. Okay, so we'll save. And that means we're done with the bees. And that means done with the first layer of shading. So that means it's time to go back to the flowers. Well, the flowers aren't on all their own individual layers. Depending on the type of flower, they're grouped. So buds under blooms. It's just these 4. I was thinking of taking it darker, but I'll just see what it looks like when I add the second layer of shadow. Maybe that will fix it. And if it doesn't, then we can change that first color and the second color as well. So we're going to clip this one as well. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean that it's clipped to, I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on what you want it to do. That doesn't mean that it's going to be prevented based on this clipped layer. It will be based on the base layer. What I mean is that only where the base layer has pixels will the pixels applied to these layers show up. That's the point of clipping, or at least for me. So it could be nice to have them be prevented also by this one, but I don't think you can clip to a clip layer. Yeah, you can just release clipping mask. So that just means I'll need to be a little bit careful about where I put the shadow 2 if I don't want to block the shadow 1. So first let's pick our color. These are much more natural colors compared to the bees, but that's on purpose. I want that all my animals are super bright and colorful in this series. That is totally on purpose. Let's see what this is like. Wow, I guess they're not actually researching prices. And maybe some people just assume that used would always be cheaper than new, and then they're also not doing their due diligence, and maybe people are listing it for more on purpose. You never know. Skittle bees. Yeah, they look like the tropical Skittles. Okay, this is kind of hard for me to figure out. Where do I want the shadow to go on here? This particular bud right now, it's actually completely in shadow. Here's the lighter base color. It's completely in shadow, so this is where it will be even darker because the sun is being blocked by this bud that's right next to and above it. So I guess I need to figure out where would the sun be? Where would the sun be able to curve around a little bit and maybe not directly hit this bud, but be able to light it up a bit. And I feel like maybe right here. So I'm gonna just draw a circle right there. And then we'll color the rest in. Maybe I'll leave some on the edge. No, I'm going to color in and then I will erase some back in on the edge. Yes, that's what I'll do. It's fun, even though these are thistle buds. With this color and the spikes, it makes me feel like I'm drawing a cactus. It's kind of like a cactus because it has this spines to help protect it, but it's not like a cactus because I don't think that it's a succulent or anything. Let's add a little bit where these lines are. Oops. Put off for a minute. Something like that. Take it off of here, maybe this. Because this is where the bud is going to open. This is going to split open in all these directions and become this flower. Flower is developing inside there. Okay, and let's do some on the edge. Like maybe some reflected light from the environment. Let me zoom out and see. Still don't quite like it. I'm going to see if I can find a photo reference. Sorry about my creaky chair. I actually try not to move too much in this chair so it doesn't make so much noise, but... Okay, how do I just get to... Oh, here we go. So I'm using the iNaturalist app. We're looking for wavy leaf thistle. And we'll put in the United States and search. It didn't remember that I was searching weaving. Sometimes this app is a little iffy. Search, please. There we go, it remembered it this time. Oh, this helps. Well, none of these are blocked. I need to find one that's having the light blocked by another flower, if I can find such a thing. It seems like maybe what I could do is just increase the size of the shadow on the top. Or decrease the size of the secondary shadow on the top. So what I actually mean. When I'm just seeing what the shape of these buds does to the shadows on them. Since I can't find so far. I'm scrolling and scrolling. Can't find so far a reference quite like the situation I've drawn. Man, some of these buds are so cool. They have huge thorns on them. Though this particular picture makes me wonder if this is not the correct plant because it looks so different from all the other ones. Alright, well, I couldn't find one that quite matches what I'm seeing in my drawing, but that's okay because I did see plenty of buds and how the shadows work on them, so come in here and try to refine it some more. I think I just need to remove some shadow toward the top. They're actually smoother than I give them credit for. So I'm going to remove that shadow I put there. It's not like a cactus where it's ribbed. And I think that's the idea I was getting, like, oh, maybe I'll put a little extra there. You know, it's a little more subtle. Rather than ribs, these are more like little, they look like little tiny seeds. And who knows, maybe they are, I don't know. But this whole thing looks like it's built of these seeds or scales. Scales might be a better way to describe it. So that's what these lines are depicting, is just a little hint of that scaliness. Oh, that looks way better! Yay! So I think I'll just bring these sides down a little bit more. It's hard when I have to make up the shadows. I sort of have to fudge them until they look right. I'm using information, visual information from the reference photos, from all my practice drawings, sketches that I did. But in the end, I'm doing a cell shading type of technique, which means it's still has to be made up because cell shading does not really happen in real life. Even if you had a super bright light on your subject so that the shadows were as dark and dramatic as possible because the light is as bright and dramatic as possible, it still wouldn't be hard cell style shading because light particles bend and curve around objects, so it's always going to have a little bit of softness in reality. Little dog trailer. All my years of formal training. Yeah, it's always coming back. It's worth it. It's worth it. I can draw upon it to make things look believable. Even if maybe if someone could magically find a picture that looked like this. So you're just looking for a trailer for groceries? Did you say that's what you were looking for before? Or did I not? Oh, okay. I didn't miss that. Yep, now that it's not super cold anymore, I'm thinking of resuming what I did last year, which was on Saturdays walk over to the grocery store. We're just bringing big backpacks. We got one special cooler backpack and lots of ice packs in it, and just get the groceries there, and anything we couldn't get there, we would get delivery. Yeah, it's way better. Way better for you. Better for the environment, better for your physical health, probably better for your mental health as well, because exercise has been proven to improve mental health just as well as drugs. And also probably the sense of accomplishment, because I always feel really good. I feel like I went out and foraged, like I'm some ancient human who went and went and found sustenance for the day or whatever. Okay, I think this is good. So I'm going to move on to the next one. Oh, wait. I forgot. There's multiples on here. What's next? These two below it. So we're going to move down there. Oh, yeah. And they do it every year, too. Ever since I subscribed to the Boise City email newsletter, years ago I subscribed, and every year they put this information out because every year so many people are killed in preventable accidents. It's really horrible. Testing out a different kind of shading. It's more like texture here, but I don't know. It doesn't really work with the line art. So I just gotta figure out what I want to do with the shading. Where do I need more shading? Oh yeah, that always sounds fun. The mobile farmers market. I think you've done it a couple times. I feel like you've told me about it a couple times now and shown me your haul. I do wish one of my new favorite stores is Natural Grocers. So they've got a lot of the Whole Foods that I've been trying to move to. And not just the Whole Foods, but the organic ones, which means no pesticides, which there's two big reasons I don't want any pesticides. One, because I don't want to be killing even more animals. And two, the pesticides are not only they poison our food that we eat, they poison the water, and all water circulates all around the world. So water here becomes snow on the Himalayas, becomes water at the bottom of the sea, and it's always constantly circulating. And I've been reading about how for instance, DDT is still in circulation, and people still have detectable and even dangerous levels of it in their bodies, especially if they eat a lot of fish, because fish comes from the water. And so I'm trying to get organic anything for multiple reasons, to help the environment, to help myself, and to help animals. But Natural Grocers is a little farther away. I mean, maybe it's not too bad. I never actually looked how far a walk would be over there. Maybe that's good enough. I don't know, man. Oh, it actually looks pretty good. Let's zoom out. A little bit more dimension. Time for another drink of tea. Yeah, this weekend if I go over to the Asian grocery store, I'm going to look for some more barley tea too. The wonder barley tea is just literally... Hold on, I'm going to look this up. Because if it's just literally barley that you put in the water, I'll just buy barley. I don't need to buy this special tea bag one because I've got compostable tea bags already. What is barley tea made of? Oh. Space made of. It still didn't do the space. Hello, space bar. Thank you. What is barley tea made? Roasted barley. Okay, it's got to be roasted. It's roasted barley creams. I wonder if they have roasted barley in natural grocers. Roasted grain. So it says sometimes it's ground, but it also says that sometimes it's used whole. Alright, let me put that back. I'm just thinking about it because my barley tea that I've been getting is not organic. Until I learned all this scientific stuff, I did not care about organic. It's like, what? Who cares? It's more expensive. But now, like, oh man, please give me organic. Everything organic, please. No pesticides. I also love that organic means that sugar is guaranteed vegan, because otherwise they might use animal bones to process the sugar. Of course, I'm trying to go away from added sugar anyway now, but still, it's good to know. Well, I guess I'll leave that shading like that on the bulb. We'll do this one next. Change the blending mode. I just won't put anything there. I'll put a little extra shadow. Just a little scale or seed or whatever it is. No, I don't want it to feel so far apart. It's hard to tell whether it made a difference. I guess I'll turn the layer on. Oh yeah, it does make a difference. Okay, I'll leave that like that. Next. Oh wait. I think there was one more on this. Okay, this one down here. The bottom middle one is also on this layer. This one has a lot more texture than the other ones. So I'm paying more attention to that. Shading each one of these little scales. Alright, let's see what that looks like. What type of plants are these? These are the wavy leaf thistle. I picked it because it's I picked it because it's local to this area. I don't know if it's native, but I believe it's endemic. Like it lives here. Like it definitely lives here, or whatever. It lives here in the wild, and I picked it because thistle is one of the flowers that the Hunt's bumblebee, which is the base for these bees that I've drawn, one of the flowers that they like to visit. So it's wavy leaf thistle. Yep, that's why earlier when I was doing this one over here, I was like, it feels like I'm drawing a cactus. It feels like I'm drawing a cactus. I guess that's all right. That's the only thing. I feel like maybe I should make these ones right here darker. Yep. I love seeing them when I'm out exercising on the green belt. They get so huge. They're like taller than me. Although I don't know if that's the wavy leaf thistle. It might be a different kind. But yeah, they're really easy to recognize when they're in bloom. The flowers are really distinctive. Some people treat them like weeds, but I heard a nice quote the other day, and it was that a weed is just a plant out of place. I didn't read the article, but the article was something about how people are actually using weeds to make money. So plants that are considered weeds in certain areas, but they're actually... So I don't know how they're making money, but that's what the article was about. Probably because they're near the water. That they get that big, that wouldn't surprise me. It's definitely near the water that I see them. let's see how that looks. I think that's going to be a lot better. Oh yeah, I like that better. We're going to do the same thing with this one right here too. This one right here, I'm going to add a little bit more shadow. Oh, that's cool. That you could eat thistles. And we've got plenty of them. So if the apocalypse comes, as long as they survive, we've got a little food source figured out. Okay, I fixed those. I finished those ones. So now we're going to do blooms right, I guess. Well, I would like to do all the greens in order. So we're going to skip the blooms, I think. But the layers have to be in this order because they need to layer on top of each other in the correct direction. Okay, here we go. This is the rest of the green bits. Blooming buds green. Oh, and it's perfect timing because it's break time. Yay! All right, everybody. I encourage you all to take this opportunity to stretch and refresh. I'm going to put my be right back sign on, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. everyone, I'm back. I hope you had a great break. I am all stretched out and relaxed and refreshed and ready to go. Time to get back to work on these blooming buds. Let's see, so we need to create a new layer. Name it Shadow 2. Oh, seeing Satoi's message that came in after I left. Yep, if we're not willing to change on purpose, it's gonna be inevitable anyway. It's gonna be a lot harder on us if we go the inevitable route, but yeah, it's coming either way. Okay, so the next one is, so maybe we can finish all these buds during this stream, because we got those 2 bees and 4 buds done in the first hour, and then we've got these, how many are there? 4? There's 4 left. 2 of them are significantly bigger. So might even be able to start on the flowers too, but we'll see. So I can just use how I did this one to inform this one as well. Got this really smooth shape. I don't know how much that makes sense. Everything else is bumpy. I think I'm gonna actually change the base color shape here. So everything else has this nice bumpy shape, but the rest doesn't over here because there's no lines. So let's bring that in. There. That's probably good. Or maybe this one would actually be like a W shape. There. That's good. Okay, so back to Shadow 2. Gotta go grab that Shadow 2 color. Since I changed colors to adjust that. There we go. Back up here. So this is what I was talking about with the layers don't clip on each other, just to the bottom layer. So here it's not respecting that. So I've got to do something like this to protect this little area from the Shadow 1 layer. Which is fine, it's worth it for the benefits of being able to change the color freely later, or change the shape even, because sometimes you might want to change the shape independently. You paint all on the same layer, you can't really do that. I mean, you can, but it's a lot more work because you gotta sort of paint back and forth, and when I'm doing this cell type shading, it's way easier to just put everything on its own layer. If I'm doing a little bit more painterly style shading, that's different. And often what I'll do is have a base color layer with that, have a base color layer, and then have the adjustment layer, and that layer is clipped, and then maybe I'll have a highlights layer on top of that, but I won't have everything on its own separate layer, not like I do with this one, with this style. It just depends on what I'm trying to do. Oh, I just realized that in my activity feed here for Twitch it says you are 50% of the way to completing your goal for subs. So thank you everybody who has subscribed. We're getting there. Yay! My teeny tiny channel grows a little bit. Hold on, something is bugging me in my eye. There's a little something in my eye. Okay. Wonder it was bugging me. There was actually something there. Okay. Like that. Put my glasses back on. It's a lot of work, but it's actually pretty fun doing this shading. The only thing I have always been thinking about this whole time, because these illustrations take so long, in particular these animal onomatopoeia illustrations take so long, that I'm always worried about it, how long it's taking, but I can't achieve the results I want through rushing. Because the results I want is not just the finished work. I also want to be healthy and sane by the time it's done. Because I have finished these in a very small amount of time before, when I was doing them for the first time as my illustration capstone project. And that was so stressful. I mean, it was worth it because I graduated and everything. But I do not want that to be my standard MO, or even I don't want to have to do that at all ever again. I don't want to have to work like that again. It's not worth it. But it still bugs me a little bit, and it's probably leftover anxiety from college life and all the deadlines and the huge amount of work they expect you to do. It's completely unhealthy. But I just keep reminding myself, you're fine. You don't need to rush. You have the time. But I can't change what my emotions are. I can only change how I respond to them. So I am responding by keeping working and not freaking out. Not letting the anxiety force me to rush or something. Or ruin the rest of my day if I don't rush. Slow and steady wins the race. Oh, Satoitz is back. Oh, wow. Yummy. I've been reading about all the benefits of red vegetables. There's so many, I can't even name them because there's so many. You know, like cancer prevention benefits, diabetes prevention benefits, and all these heart health benefits. Yeah. Ooh, yummy. I'm excited because I've got some whole food plant-based pre-made dressings coming. Because the thing I've been finding about moving to not just vegan eating but whole food plant-based eating, whole food vegan eating, is that it's been taking me a long time to just eating it. I mean, it's a good thing because then you're super full because it takes so long to eat. You're super full by the time you're done. And I've been working on trying to trim down my fat reserves for ages and ages, so it's a great thing for my body composition goals, my health goals, but it takes so long, so I don't want to have to also make my own dressings on top of that. So I found a place that actually makes them, and I ordered they have a whole box with every flavor in it. That's what I ordered. They should be here tomorrow, so I'm super excited to try those on my salads. So I've been eating a salad with lunch and a salad with dinner. Ooh, yummy. So stir fry with carrots, broccoli, and mushrooms. Ah, yeah. That should be good. That should be delicious. There was some particular reason why I really wanted to make sure mushrooms were part of my daily diet. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, I've got them covered because I've been having miso soup every day with lunch. I've been having soup and salad for my lunch. I've been making miso soup with tofu, 2 kinds of sea vegetables, miso, of course, and mushrooms mixed. There's this great mixed mushroom blend in the freezer section from the Woodstock brand, and it's got Japanese mushrooms like shimeji and shiitake, and then also white button mushrooms, and I think one other kind. I can't remember what it was. Oh, oyster mushrooms. Or was it trumpet? No, I think it's oyster mushrooms. Maybe it was trumpet mushrooms too. Anyway, putting that in there, getting all the different mushrooms, all the different nutrients. Oh, really? Why aren't you used to eating them? You just haven't been having them, or they like give you stomach problems or something? If you don't want to share, you don't have to. Just being curious. Only put them in bolognese. They're so good. You should put them in everything. Mushrooms are so delicious. I love mushrooms so much. Well, I don't put them in sweet things unless it's like Once in a while, there'll be like that Leishi hot cocoa or something, but that's just a treat, not a meal. Sauce type dishes. Fat lion's mane. I want to try battering and frying. Yummy. At the spring vegan market, the people next to me were selling mushrooms that they grew themselves. Pretty sure they had lion's mane, and people were like, "What is that?" They didn't know what they were looking at. Maybe I'll take that back. Take this one back. Maybe what I need to do here is actually adjust this shadow. Wow, wrong color. Whoopsie. There we go. Just adjust it like that. Get the correct color, and then we can do this. Yeah. Let's save. Just had a thought. I haven't saved in a while. Actually, based on these shapes, this should go back farther. Maybe I'll just leave it like that, and then we can take a little bit back here like it was, but it's back farther. Alright, I haven't zoomed out and looked in a while. Not bad, but it's way too shady down here, so we're gonna take some of that back. Ooh. Portobello, right? The big one? Yeah. Yep. And it's so full of nutrients, too. It's way more nutritious. And you can enjoy the texture. That hearty texture. Oh, I'm on shadow 1. Oh no, did I do this wrong color? Shadow 1. Okay, good. I just didn't change off of it. Okay, but did I just erase some shadow? I did. Okay, I've got to undo that. Is that enough? Did I undo the damage? Nope. Okay. Now it's good. Shadow 2 is what I wanted to work on. Let's see if that helps. better. I think I'll just go ahead and do it on the other ones too down there though. Yeah, it looks so much more three-dimensional. And then we're still going to have, once I'm done with all of the secondary shading on everything, including the bees, then we'll go in and add highlights so it'll get even better. But what's next on this layer? So I think I'm calling that one done, but there's still 3 more. So this is just a small version of almost the same thing here. Save again, just in case. Whenever the fans ramp up, that's my warning. Never had a problem on this PC in particular, but I've had a problem on past ones. Oh, me too. I love when they first start. Satuita says, "I'm glad to see the bees on the lavender around town." I haven't even read the rest of the message. I'm like, yes, I love seeing it out on the walks. So we take our puppies on a walk, and regularly every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, we go on a nice long walk, and the only time we don't go is when the weather is so bad. Either, it's so smoky, it's dangerous, it's too hot, it's way too hot to be safe, or it's way too cold to be safe, or it's, whatever. But for the most part, we get to see those plants come in and out of flower throughout the year. So it's so exciting when you see the greens start coming back, and then the little flowers start opening, and then you start seeing the bees too. So, well, it's not even summer yet, so there's still hope. The bees are probably still building their homes, and new baby bees are being born, so hopefully there will be more. Because, yeah, I love seeing them. I love seeing them on our property, and when we walk around the neighborhood and everything. A couple what looked like honeybees got in here earlier, like last month, I think. And one of them I couldn't save because I couldn't find it to save it and bring it back outside. But the other one, I was able to get it and put it outside. I'm like, here, there's no food for you in here. You've got to get out. There's no water. So at least I was able to save one. The other one I knew I couldn't save because I found its little corpse, which is sad, but I can't save everyone. I try. When I see bugs in my house, I try to get them outside because they're trapped. It's like they found this new alien world and it's inhospitable and there's no food or water for them. There's no companionship. Other than me, but I am no substitute for their own kind. Wow. Yep, they're probably the bumblebees and carpenter bees, probably why there's so many raspberries over there. They're probably helping out with that. I bet you. I forgot to get some raspberries when I was over there before. Need them for my daily porridge. Been having berries. I've been learning about all of the health benefits of berries. So I'm trying to eat them every day too. Carpenter bees. Maybe that's what I saw. So I'm no expert. You know what? Let me just look. Let me see what a carpenter bee looks like on iNaturalist. So I'm interested. Carpenter bee. United States search. Well, maybe I should do Idaho, because apparently there's an eastern carpenter bee, which probably means eastern United States. That's what it often means. Okay, so we'll try Idaho. Oh, there's 3 different species still, though. I don't think this was it. This is not what was in my studio here. Because this has the black... Is that called the thorax? No, that's called the abdomen? Well, the back part... the back part is black. The bees that got in here... Let me see what a actual honey bee looks like. They were lighter. Oh. Wait, how is Idaho not found this time? Come on. The app is struggling a little bit. Honey bee. Honey bees in Idaho. Oh, I have to choose something more specific. Apis. Oh yeah, this was more like it. So I think it was probably a honeybee. Because it's got a little bit lighter. That bottom part. Whatever that bottom part is. Yeah, the eastern one is here too. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh yeah, it doesn't make a difference. Western, eastern, they're both here. Yep, I don't mind. I don't mind sharing. They don't bother me. I try not to bother them. In fact, they probably help me by helping make my food grow. So I also try to help them when I can. When I find a bug that is struggling to get up, my new theory is that they're dehydrated because they've been lost in the house for so long. So when I bring them outside, I'll try to put them by the water faucet or something so they can get some water. Or sometimes I actually give them some water in the house first before I put them outside. That's my theory. Because sometimes, you find them and they're just on their back, just struggling, and then you right them, and then they flip right back over again. And I think the only thing I can think is the reason why it happens is because they're dehydrated, so they can't control their bodies well. Aw, that's so cute! I think I've seen that too, like pictures of it. I haven't seen it in real life. But pictures of bees lining their homes. Everybody's working so hard. All the little bugs. And earlier, when I went on break during this stream, I looked over to my left to just look outside, and there were 2 ladybugs on the window. They were like jumping from the window to the mint plants that are right outside. There's this other bug too. I wonder if it's actually stuck in my screen. I'll have to check that out. Because it's just staying there. I think maybe it's stuck and hoping it can find a way out. I imagine bugs that come into houses as these intrepid explorers, you know, exploring the final frontier, trying to find new resources and a new place for their families to live, but then they discover that actually it's this no man's land or, you know, some resource-less planet that seemed great, but actually there's nothing they can use and they're lost and they have no means to get back to where they're kind of, imagine them like humans exploring the universe, and then there's this point where you can't get home and you're stuck on this planet. So I am the alien being that helps them get back home. That's how I imagine. That's how I imagine it. Helping the brave explorers get back where there actually are resources. Satoita is gonna be right back. So I'm thinking about this one on the screen. If it's on the inside of the screen, it's probably wishing that it didn't find its way in there and it doesn't know how to get out. It doesn't know how to get back out. Okay. Let's scroll, well, let's zoom out and see what that's looking like. I drew these unevenly, so it's a little bit hard to shade it. Satuita is already back. Welcome back. Time for me to have some tea. I love barley tea because it's so flavorful and no caffeine. If I have caffeine even a little bit after noon, makes it hard for me to fall asleep and stay asleep later. So I try to drink my caffeinated teas in the morning and herbal teas from after lunchtime. I guess this looks alright. I just maybe this one. Need to take a little highlight off of there. which is actually just the base color showing through. So I'm actually going to go to shadow 1 and fill that in. Oh, no, why am I not on the brush tool? Oh, I just pressed the wrong thing. Okay. I needed to press Alt. And I'm going to color, oops, I'm going to color this in. And then we'll go to shadow 2, get this color back, and we'll, actually let's color all the way in, and then we'll erase a little bit. Let's see if that looks better. Oh yes, much better. Maybe it's a little too dark right here. It's hard to say. The light is coming from this direction, but it's also supposed to be coming from the top a bit, because it's the sun, so it's definitely going to be above no matter what. So maybe I'll just erase a little bit extra. And this isn't even, this is on the shadow 1 layer. So we're going to do, it's like a little there and a smaller one there. Let's do the same thing here. Okay, zoom out. Ah, that's better. That's better. This is seeming a little bit too small. There. Another check. Oh, looks pretty good. Save. Got 15 minutes left. And 2 more of these buds, and they're much more simple because they're mostly covered by the flower petals in both cases. This one, make sure we're back on shadow 2. Okay, there's shadow 1. On shadow 2, let me make sure I have the shadow 2 color. Okay, there's a missing line here. Did I accidentally color something I shouldn't have, or has that been there the whole time? Looks like that's been here the whole time. Weird. Okay, so I'm gonna have to color that back in. There we go. I'm gonna get that color again. Guess what I could do? Oh, it's hard to tell which is which. There's the darker color, and then in the other color swatch, I'll get the lighter color. Alright, I can see the difference. There. Now I don't have to keep grabbing it. It'd be cool if they'd give you more of these. You know, like you could have a long line of them of your own custom colors, and you can change what each one is. I'm going to zoom out a little bit for this one. I think for the most part, I'm just going to put a big circle. So there's not very many details visible here anyway. Maybe we'll do something like this. Showing the light wrapping around as light does. In fact, we could get that effect here with the shadow 1. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Let's bring it back a little bit though. Let's bring it back right there. Back to the darker color and make sure we're back on shadow 2. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do with that one. It's really simple. This one will probably also be just as simple. Let's do the same thing that we did with the other one. We'll get the same effect from the first shadow layer to why is it not? Oh, I'm still in the wrong color. Blast it. Still on the wrong color. I am on the wrong color. There. I'm going to fine tune this one a little bit. This feels like there's a little bit too much of the first shadow layer. Or there wasn't enough, actually. It was too much light. This feels a lot better. So that means I've now added the second layer of shading on the Blooming Buds green, so we're done with that one. Yay! I guess we could do the spikes next because we only have 8 minutes left. So this is a little thing we should be able to finish in that amount of time. I don't even know if I'll put that many extra shadows on it. They're so small. But let's see what we can do. So spikes. I guess we'll start over here and work our way back. Oh yeah, there's plenty of opportunity to add more. So let's see. First we'll select the shadow color. Then we'll go in to choose an even darker and cooler shadow color. I did not change which layer I was on. That seems good. Seems like enough. What's the next one? Ah, this one. Actually, this one feels like it needs not shadow that color, but of the first color. Make sure I'm on shadow one. There. Back on shadow two. Back on second shadow color. Who's next? Who's got some spikes? Okay, it's these three on the left. Yay, with each pass it's looking more and more three-dimensional. So I've been doing these out of order, because these are in layer order, which layers need to be on top of one another. But I've been addressing them in a way that works better for my mind's logic, which is do the green stuff first. Now we've done the yellow stuff. Now we're going to do the white part, which is the blooms. And we've got multiple layers for those. We've got blooms, right? I guess we may as well start here. A new layer, we're going to call it Shadow 2. Aw. Well, thank you for donating. That helps just as much, and it also helps. I think it's just as helpful to know your limits and be responsible, because when it's just as horrible for the cats when they end up in like a hoarding situation, you know? Not saying that you would go that far. Obviously you wouldn't, but I think it's just as commendable that you don't, since that means you're being responsible. Yeah, donating is the way to go. That helps just as much. Okay, so I don't have too much time. I don't know what I can get done. Guess I could pick a color. This is the shadow color. And we want to make it a little cooler and a little darker. Maybe I'll give it a little bit more color too. Actually seems pretty good. So that's my color. Yeah. I think he enjoys being an only cat. Alright, let's look at this one down here. We only got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes. But this one has it's hardly anything. It's very small. So at the very least I'll get started on it. Even with this I don't think I'll be able to finish, but do a little something. Make the most of the time. And that's it. That's it for streaming time today. Let's save. This is a good start. Made a lot of progress today. Yay! Every day we're getting closer to finished. This is going to be so awesome when it's done. So we got these final 2 bees. The first layer of shading done. We got all the green and yellow stuff on the flowers. Second layer of shading. Got a tiny little bit of shading done on one of the flowers. On the petals part. On the bloom part. That's good. It's so nice that we can at least give a few people paradise. It's totally possible if we want it. So I always think of that with the puppies here. You can see them on the puppy cam. They love in life. So I'm glad the tiger has that too. Oh, really? I only got 1 class with him, even though he was my... What's the term? Not counselor, not proctor. Why can't I think of the term? Well, anyway, he was my whatever. Everybody's assigned one. But I only got 1 class with him. Painting 2, I think. And it's one of the few classes where I made a piece that I actually super love. And it's a school piece. And I super love on its own. Like it's... And even though it was so hard to make, it's one of the favorite things I've ever made. So I quite enjoyed his class, but it was during the height of the pandemic, so we only ever met for the class on Zoom, so it was hard to get enough feedback or whatever. We didn't have much time together. Probably because I was really self-sufficient and self-motivated, so I didn't actually need that much advice for how to continue, so it was like, oh well. Alright, everyone. That's it for today. Hold on, Satu just said one more thing. Imagine if you were to be killed now. What would you like? Would you like what you left behind? I actually think about that. I think about that in a daily basis kind of way. Not in a morbid way, but just in a If I died tomorrow, or if I didn't live to see tomorrow, would I be satisfied with what I did today? And that's the way I live my life. And yes, I am satisfied with what I did today, with what I've been doing and what I'm gonna do. Oh, for real. It is time. It is time. It's the end of the stream. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, chatting, and for everything you do to support Studio Mikarts. If you're new to my channel and you want to see more, please follow Studio Mikarts on Twitch to get notified next time I go live. You can also support me by becoming a Twitch subscriber to get ad-free viewing and cute emotes, joining my Patreon for lovely illustrated goodies in the mail, or sending some creative fuel through Buy Me a Coffee. All the links are in my Twitch About section and in the YouTube description if you're watching the recording. Tomorrow I will be back at the same time working on this same project, so I hope to see you then. But either way, let me wish you a wonderful rest of your day and thank you for watching!